Hello!
Oh, hi there!
I've been using this phone for a little bit, and I've decided, you know what, it's been a few years, I might as well get an upgrade.
Sure thing, I can help you with that. Would you like another Samsung?
Another Samsung flagship, preferably, because I need, well, I like the flagships and such, and Samsung still supports the SD card slot, right?
I really hate to tell you this, but, no, they don't.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah, I am.
When did they get rid of that?
It started with the Note 10, then they unfortunately carried it to other phones like, unfortunately, the S20 series and such.
Wow, that's sad. So, does this mean Samsung's not differentiating itself anymore?
It appears that way, sir. I'm sorry about that.
Okay, well, is there any other brand that will actually differentiate itself from the iPhone?
Well, we do have a OnePlus here.
Really?
A lot of reviewers say this differentiates itself in the fact that it's a flagship killer.
How so?
You know, it's got all the different flagship features, and it's at a relatively affordable price. It even includes the SD card slot.
I mean, it's not a Samsung, but it's at least different from the iPhone.
It sure is. Would you like to upgrade to this OnePlus here?
Okay, sure, why not? Here. Oh wow, this thing's so cool!
I know, right?
And it's so speedy! No joke! Oh, this thing's so much better than the iPhone! Yes! Thank you so much!
You're welcome, Mr. Android fan. Have a good day.
Do the same! Hello. It's been a few years. I think I'm ready for an upgrade now. This OnePlus was amazing, just like you said.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, sir.
Alright, can I get another OnePlus?
Yeah, about that. Remember how you said you're into flagships? Unfortunately, OnePlus isn't really selling us that type of stuff anymore.
Huh?
You complain that you don't like phones that try to copy the iPhone.
What happened this time?
Yeah, OnePlus is starting to do basically that. They're becoming another iPhone copycat.
Are you serious? First Samsung and now OnePlus? Why? Is there any phone that's not trying to be like the iPhone?
No, not that brand. What? Oh, no, not that one. Come on. No. I don't know what to tell you, sir.
Fine, I'll just take an iPhone then.
Let's begin! I don't know if you guys know this, but I basically, ever since I switched to the iPhone and ever since 2020 and such, Android basically has become, well, boring to me. Like, it's kind of funny and ironic because usually it's the Android phones, they're the ones pioneering the new features and such. Like, we got foldables, we got new types of cameras and such. Yeah, supposedly Android is supposed to be the more exciting side of the smartphone spectrum compared to iOS, because when you look at it, well, Android offers more hardware choice, meaning there's more room to play with brand new features that nobody's even thought of before. While the iPhone, basically perfecting features that already exist. So one would think Android should be more interesting, right? Well, the problem is that just has not been the case. And it boggles my mind how it's shifted from, ooh, we're going to try these brand new concepts and ideas of smartphones, to basically now we're just going to make our own iPhone clone. We're going to make a phone that, well, is as similar to the iPhone as possible. We're not going to differentiate ourselves. Okay, we're not going to invest money in differentiating ourselves. We're just going to try to copy the iPhone because we all know the iPhone is what sells and people want it. And that's basically why I stopped caring about Android. At first, Samsung was my go-to because, I mean, if you take a look at all the different things that Samsung had going for them, the Samsung Galaxy S7 was an amazing deal of a phone. So feature-packed, and yeah, it had flagship pricing like basically every other flagship phone. It at least came feature-packed, and unlike the competition, the S7 differentiated itself. Yeah, see, this phone right here, this Galaxy S7, back in its day, this was differentiating itself compared to any other smartphone. I mean, the iPhone was the iPhone and such. We basically set that as the standard. But in terms of a phone that's not the iPhone, everyone loved this. And yet, somehow, what do we have today? The S22, that's their current lineup. It's iPhone clone! I mean, just take a look at the design. The camera bump shifted from the center all the way to the top left left corner, which, gee, I wonder who has always put that there to signify their design. Yeah, I have no idea who might possibly do that. With the Note 10 and Note 10 Plus, the actual phone that signaled Samsung's demise as a differentiator in the smartphone world, the Note 10 and Note 10 Plus, take a look at the camera design. You can't tell me that doesn't look like an iPhone 10 or a 10s. It looks exactly like an iPhone 10 or 10s. And then when you take a look at what's happened year over year, when the iPhone came out with the horrible camera bump on the iPhone 11, oh geez, I still hate that. And why are they still driving it home? Apple, please clean this bump up. Yeah, Samsung didn't decide to be the differentiator. Nope, they just basically went all in on that same type of style camera bump. That's a big blob. Okay, the S20s, they at least didn't have the camera lenses showing. But once we got to the S21s, okay, yeah, it's really going for that iPhone copycat design. I mean, the regular S21 and S21 Plus, those still had the bar design, so it still kind of looked like a blend between iPhone 11 and iPhone 10. But when you took a look at the S21 Ultra, that's when it basically shows, yeah, they're not taking any original approaches. They're basically trying to copy the iPhone design and will only add just a couple differentiators so that when there's a lawsuit, they can point to, no, look! Different. Our camera layout's just a little different. Yeah, come on, Samsung. We all know you're not even trying anymore. And then even the feature set. If you take a look at what this thing used to have that was basically standard and Samsung fought for it so hard. One example that I always go back to, and it's a very popular one, the SD card slot, or shall I say the micro SD card slot. This thing had it as standard equipment, and basically all Samsung phones at the time had it as standard equipment. They believed in expandable storage. How about today? Yeah, they don't. Also, other differentiating features, like instead of Apple's putting all the heart rate monitor stuff on a watch, for example, Samsung just decided, you know what, maybe people don't want to buy a watch necessarily, let's just integrate it in the phone. Because this phone actually has a heart rate sensor, believe it or not. It's really cool. Do they have it today? No. So when you take a look at basically Samsung's feature set and compare it to the iPhones, you'll notice that the two are more similar than they've ever been. And this doesn't really differentiate itself from the iPhone anymore like it used to. And now the last company that I was steering people towards, because I mean, it did kind of have a vibe of trying to copy the iPhone in terms of like a few designs here and there, but at least this one brand decided to make a couple key features a priority that definitely helps differentiate itself compared to the competition. I'm talking about OnePlus. OnePlus has basically, well, become just like what Samsung has become ever since August of 2019. Another iPhone copycat, basically. If you take a look at their phones, sure, they still prioritize one thing that I find heavily unnecessary for the most part, but their fast charging. Like, their fast charging is now at such a ridiculous speed, I wouldn't be surprised if at some point the phone explodes. But when you take a look at OnePlus's previous values were that really differentiated it from the rest of the Android competition as well, it was basically flagship killer. Provide the majority of the flagship experience aside from a couple things, and then provide it at such a great price. I commended OnePlus for actually doing this. I love their phones. And now, ever since the OnePlus 9, actually, that's when it started. OnePlus 9, that's when I realized, you know what, they're not really staying true to that flagship killer thing that they used to be known for. The OnePlus 9 was basically the first phone that, I don't recall if it was the OnePlus 9 Pro that started at $1,000, that was their first one, or was it the 8 Pro that started at $1,000? I don't remember which was which, but eventually they ended up at $1,000, which kind of defeats the whole flagship killer thing that differentiated them from the market. And now with the OnePlus 10, so sad. I do appreciate that it's a little bit more of a unique design with the square and the type of camera ridge it's at. I think it's a little differentiated, but it's kind of a blend between iPhone and Pixel when you look at it. But setting a design aside, where's the flagship killer that we all knew OnePlus for? Where's the pack every feature into a single phone that you can possibly think of that Samsung used to be known for? Where are all of these differentiating factors that all of these Android companies used to be known for? All these Android companies, Samsung used to be known for the feature-packed smartphone. You want all the features packed into one phone? You get this thing. It'll have it. It might be a slightly clunky experience because, well, sometimes there are features that are kind of oxymoronic in a way, if you know what I mean. You want a flagship killer? You go for the OnePlus. OnePlus offers an incredible value. Stock Android in the worst phone possible? Well, you went for a Google Pixel. Okay, Google Pixel has sort of rectified themselves with the Pixel 6. It's not perfect, but it's better than their previous attempts, okay? All these Android manufacturers had something going for them, but now they all have this one thing in common, and it's basically make phone that appeals to iPhone buyers, meaning make iPhone copycat. They're not making anything unique anymore, and because of that, the Android competition that we all used to be so excited for, like Samsung's foldables, everyone was excited for that. New features that the Samsung phones got packed, what features can the flagship killer OnePlus include? We used to all be excited about that, but now today, I'll watch an Android review on basically any phone, even the Samsungs and OnePluses. I feel disappointed. There's no competition anymore. Nobody's trying to make anything different. They're all just trying to make what Apple's basically been making because iPhones sell. Everyone knows that iPhones sell. Apple sells more of an individual unit compared to any other smartphone maker. Because of that, there's no competition anymore. The Android market is basically as boring as you can get. When it comes to shopping for an Android and you hate Apple, you need my opinion. I basically can just tell you go buy any random phone because you know what? Any Android is basically going to be an iPhone copycat. And actually, if that were the case, I'd still steer you to buying an iPhone because if these things are just going to try to copy the iPhone's feature set and not differentiate themselves anyway, then just get the real thing. Because oftentimes a copycat is much worse than the real thing. Even if the real thing is more expensive than the copycat. Just get the real thing. That's my little rant on Android's demise and why I don't care about Android anymore. They used to be great. They really did. But then they decided they don't want to try anymore. They just want to put random pieces of hardware into a package. The software is basically designed to mimic the iPhone as much as possible. And there's nothing special anymore. I mean, Samsung, they still have their feature-packed design, but every single year with the new phones coming out hardware-wise, they're dropping features that they used to be known for. They still got most of their software features like their split view multitasking, their side menu that you can swipe out and such. They've still got their exclusive features, but in terms of hardware, it's almost basically the same. I mean, sure, you can say we're a peak smartphone, but nobody's trying anything new anymore, and it's boring. That's why I don't care about Android anymore. Sorry if this video is a bit of a rambly mess, but that's what happens when you have no idea what type of tech video to make today, so this is what we got. Alright, thank you for watching. Do me a favor and interact with the stuff below. My name is DeWolf, Random Alpha, signing off.